One currency dominates the global economy. It is used in trade, in debt, in reserves, and across financial markets worldwide. It influences economies far beyond its own borders. That currency is the US dollar, but its power is not just economic. It is structural. It is embedded into the foundation of the global financial system itself. To understand how the modern world works, you have to understand the role of the dollar. Because once you see it clearly, you begin to understand how global power is actually distributed. Today, the US dollar is the world's primary reserve currency. Central banks hold it as part of their reserves, governments rely on it for stability, and financial institutions use it to settle transactions across borders. Even when countries trade with each other directly, many deals are still priced and settled in dollars. This makes the dollar central to global commerce. It is not just one currency among many, it is the system that connects them all. Most global trade depends on the dollar. Oil, commodities, and international contracts are heavily priced in it. This creates a structure where countries need dollars not just for economic strength, but simply to participate in the global economy. The dollar becomes a gateway. Without access to it, trade becomes more difficult. Financing becomes more expensive, and economic growth becomes harder to sustain. This dominance did not happen by accident. After World War II, the global financial system was redesigned through agreements that placed the US dollar at the center. Initially, it was backed by gold, creating confidence in its value. But even after the gold standard ended, the system remained. Trust replaced physical backing, and the dollar continued to function as the global standard. The power of the dollar is built on trust. Trust in the US economy, trust in its financial institutions, and trust in its long-term stability. This trust allows the dollar to operate globally, even outside the United States. It becomes a shared reference point for value, connecting economies that otherwise operate independently. A large portion of global debt is denominated in US dollars. Countries borrow in dollars, and corporations issue debt in dollars. This creates a system of dependency. Because debt must be repaid in the same currency it was issued in, access to dollars becomes essential. This ties economies into the dollar system over time. When the Federal Reserve changes interest rates, the impact is not limited to the United States. Higher interest rates attract capital into the US. Investors move money toward dollar-based assets, seeking higher returns. This strengthens the dollar and shifts liquidity across the global financial system. As capital flows into the United States, other economies can lose liquidity. Their currencies weaken, and their dollar-denominated debt becomes more expensive to repay. This creates pressure, particularly on emerging markets. A decision made in one country can ripple across the entire global economy. The United States does not need to directly control other economies. The system itself creates influence. Through currency, through finance, and through structure. The dollar connects everything. It shapes global behavior without needing direct intervention. The dollar is not just money. It is infrastructure. It is a foundation of the global financial system. Understanding the dollar means understanding how global power works. Because in modern finance, control is not always visible, but it is always present. This is Capital Blueprint. Follow Capital Blueprint. Learn how money really works.